And welcome to Discovery Week, looking at all things Discovery, San Diego Comic-Con, and even maybe before. This episode, this week, this video is about the Sarcophagus ship, and we have learned, Stuart, that concept art is official and didn't change much. But we see it in this trailer. We can now talk about it, because it is official, confirmed, and real. And this first picture is his first big appearance, and big is an understatement, potentially. Stuart, what is your impression on this Sarcophagus ship? Now in 3D. 3D.
Extremely cool looking. I really dig it. I love that it's got glowing nacelle elements. It's really cool. I never expected that when I first saw the concept art. I love seeing it realized on screen. Not sure how big it is because we're not quite sure how big the Shinzo is.
Yeah.
But it looks like a fairly big and substantial ship. Now the name Sarcophagus ship is quite interesting to me. It kind of conjures up some interesting things. We know there's a sarcophagus on board. How old is the ship, though? It's very ornate, very cathedral-like, a lot of elements to it. So it opens up a lot of questions, but I do like seeing it. It does sort of hold true to the Klingon aesthetic a little bit, especially if it's an older Klingon ship. Especially from the top, you got that K7 look to it. Or the D7, not K7. Sorry, D7. I know the look on your face was hilarious. You're like, huh? But you got the head module, you got the boom section.
What picture was I looking at?
But you know what I mean. I got the Eagle Moss.
Tell us what you think, Stuart. Show us what you think.
So yeah, it's got the head section, the boom section, and then the part here that kind of flares out this way forward, and then goes back, and then it kind of loses that shape. But I can see where this could have evolved from that, or vice versa. It's kind of an interesting visual tie-in. So overall, I like the ship. I don't really appreciate the fact that it's a Klingon ship, but I think it's an interesting design. And for an ancient Klingon ship, I really don't have too much of a problem with it, especially if it's like a ceremonial barge or something that's supposed to be very ornate and very, one of a kind-ish. That's fine. But for all the ships to look kind of like that, nah.
Yeah, I mean, Klingons like to pimp his ride. I mean, if there's a couple of Klingons that love their colour... I mean, we talked about in our Klingon episode years ago that each bird of prey is actually unique. This guy come on, look at the guy's armour. He likes the fancier things in life. Seriously. Yeah, I mean, this of the top view, which was confirmed at San Diego Comic-Con, and here's the picture right now. I could never visualise what this looked like. It looked like a winged bird with no neck. It was very confusing to me. I didn't get it. You need orthos of it to make sense. Now we've seen it in 3D. I can actually finally, and Trekyards did a art of it, and it was actually quite close. I was finally able to. This is what it looks like in 3D. It's what it's trying to go for, because this is such a awful perspective shot. I did a lot of stuff in 3D. I couldn't get it. Very confusing. But the artwork now we see in the show. I mean, I think the scale's huge. Yeah. In picture 4 for us, you see the bridge, you see those front windows, and they are big. Yeah. That's like 2 decks at least of window just to be impressive. This ship is gonna be like, this ship is comparative to a lot. But then again, scale is different with eras, because this could probably maybe only be the size of the Enterprise E. But in comparison to this era, it's huge. Although, we heard from an internal source that the Shinzo is huge. That may have changed in subsequent, because I don't know if they're doing CG at that point. So they might have scaled it down based on people's reaction to things. But again, if they go JJ logic, which is doesn't matter what the windows say, we're this big, versus what windows say, we're this big. So it's kind of like, a lot of common sense may go out the window when it gets to scaling. But
out the window, I see what you did there.
Hey, I'm funny without realizing it. Yeah, great to see in the trailer. Great to see it visualized. It looks like Saris's ship a little bit from Galaxy Quest, with the engines, the organic-y shapes, the big circle in the middle. I don't see the Klingon exactly. I see it when you say it, but that's a stretch because it's you looking for things, If you cut the picture of it crash/dock/landed on a planet, I mean, it looks like an engineer ship. It looks like an engineer ship crossed with a thing in a toilet, like just pipes. I mean, it's a very odd set of shapes. The beautiful visuals of the ship so far. I really like how they've presented it. It has a menacing look, but not really. It's kind of like, I mean, that first picture, it kind of has a Negvar feel, actually. Just from that one angle that we've done.
Yeah, it does.
Actually
Yeah,
make our feel, which is pretty kind of cool then if that's consistent. Other shots you lose all that very quickly, but that one shot has that sort of feel. I mean, again, back to when it's crashed, you can see the Bassars have all these outstretched tendrils of metal. It's like, what is a possible function for all that stuff? All these things coming out. Like, it feels like a ship they've done on cool factor rather than, make sense. We know that in this time period, we cut away after NX-01. So we know the D7 at the time, we know the D5 designs. So it's in between those two ships. So it should have, obviously, if it's part of the fleet, it should look somewhere in between those two ships. So the fact that there's all these pieces that sort of look like they're attached because they look cool and because we can now add physical detail. I mean, look at the whole of that bridge module. Those look like veins. I mean, that's very un-Klingon-y, very un-whatever-y. Unless it's that one flagship of a crazy mad Klingon, that built it because he stole it. There's always potentials, but you wouldn't.
You're saying it like it's a contemporary ship of the fleet, and I don't think it is. I think it's something ancient and old. Yes. I don't think it's a brand new ship.
Yes.
I could be totally wrong off base, but just the feeling I get,
I don't think it is. I would concur. And it's interesting if you go back to the original concept art. We've never really talked about this. You've got all these stained glass pieces all over the ship. This lovely colour and like this wings and this mode. What on earth is all that, and why on earth is it there? Is it like solar panels? Is it?
And it's mirrored inside the ship. When you see the inside details and the interior concept art, it's the same thing. It's like you're in a huge cathedral, which again makes me think it's a symbolic ship. It's something that's ceremonial and serves a specific purpose. So I don't know. It looks fantastic. I love the detail they put into it. But
again, if this was a Star Wars ship, you'd be like, oh damn, that's a big cool ship.
Yeah.
But
or
I mean,
any other alien race in Star Trek.
Or the villain ship in Galaxy Quest 2.
There
or
you
Orville.
go,
Yeah, I think visually this works for me as a ancient Klingon emperor's flagship of the first Klingon Empire that he took around the quadrant, being like, we're the biggest, baddest ship of anyone. Even Vulcans can't, do you really want to fight this ship? We're bigger than your ships. That says something,
Yeah.
Although again, this concept art, we never looked at this on the show. If you look at how that, now we can visualize how it looks in 3D, which is really helpful. And you've got the primary in middle bit.
Yeah.
Then you've also got all these connecting links of the wings. I know that the ape brain in us says, "Wow, that's weak," but why have so many, just connecting pieces rather than just be one big sort of wing connector?
I don't know. That's a very interesting question. It speaks more to being ceremonial and more ornate for the sake of being ornate than for functionality. It just looks, spectacular. I can't see any functional reason not to just have those connected by a solid piece.
Yes.
So,
well, a little frame-by-frame action. If you go to the next picture, we can see the ship firing its plasma. It's big rip. It's a great little close as well. But it's firing its plasma from what looks to be a very standard forward torpedo launcher. Same recessed little circle.
Yeah.
I know it could be a disruptor, but its location, its size, its feel, this initial shot, it feels right.
I agree. I think it looks fine there. That's where it is on other Klingon ships we've seen, even though initially on the D7 it was supposed to be a deflector, not a torpedo. We're not going to go there. They're holding true to that, which is fine. I think that's great. It's a nice tie-in with the D7 and ships that we already know. So I like that a lot, but I don't know. I just don't know. I just hope they do it right. And is it a disruptor bolt? Is it a disruptor? Is it a photon torpedo of some sort? I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah, in the next shot you can see it's sort of its energy, not necessarily a torpedo, hasn't got the same pattern. But this is a great close-up in terms of detail, because you can see that bridge module window. It looks ornate. It looks like it corresponds to a set. Like they built a really fancy, like the cathedral. And again, you can see the wonderful details of just the two sides of this sort of hammerhead bridge. What is going on there? They're firing this weapon. Next shot, it's been fired, and you can see it after it fires, it lights up all this more ornate detail underneath the bridge. What? That confused me. I thought it was an interesting, again, one frame that exists. I thought it was an interesting piece to show.
Well, the texturing on this thing's fantastic. Like I said, it's so ornate. It's almost like it doesn't serve a practical function. It serves more of a ceremonial function.
We've never seen this sort of thing in Star Trek before. It makes the Negvar look absolutely warship in comparison, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's like, these 7 spikes are weapons. Okay, moving on. This hull is hull armor. Moving on. Well, moving on, the internal, when we get to see some more internal shots, I mean, again, it doesn't look Klingon, but looks interesting. I just want to show this picture to show, the detail of these sets. I mean, they look great. It kind of looks like Lord of the Rings, but again, that's a great compliment because they're beautiful sets. A lot of mysteries. This is they are taking Star Trek in a new direction with lots of things we just don't know what's happening, and that's kind of exciting. Like all these questions we're having, probably hundreds of questions at this point. And in a short amount of time, we'll see them, and we'll get this new Star Trek of 2017, and we'll see if it's what we want, if we need, see how cool it is. Because at the end of the day, I think it'll be good TV, when it's be good Star Trek, but it might be good conceptual Star Trek in what Star Trek was meant to be, which is themes and messages and social commentary. Takes the roar of what Gene wanted to do, just ignoring everything after it.
And everything that true Trekkies are looking for.
Well, yes. But surely true Trekkies are after the moral messages and meanings more than the ship continuity.
Me, not so much.
Yeah, me not so much either. Look at DS9. That well, a lot of episodes were just gun shooty. I mean, anyway. Off topic. So yeah, Stuart, closing thoughts on this sarcophagus ship. We finally got to see it in 3D. The concept art was right. A lot of little things. Crashed. It's a beautiful image of aliens. I love that as a piece of art.
Yeah. My closing thought is very cool. Like I said, it's very ornate, very, very interesting design. If it's ceremonial and ancient, I'm totally on board with it. If it's a new modern ship, I'm kind of like going, what is going on? Because it doesn't seem like it's a battleship. It's too. Why would you make your battleships look so pretty?
You wouldn't.
Exactly. And to have a sarcophagus on board and have it named the Sarcophagus ship is something that speaks, I think, to ancient, which is fine. I'm totally on board with that. So I really like it. I think it's a great piece of art. That concept piece is fantastic. Very ornate, very intricate, and I'm looking forward to seeing it on screen and seeing exactly what it's all about. So I'm pretty excited for it. For it being Klingon, as long as it's ancient Klingon, again, I can get on board with it.
Yes, it could be anything, but I'm excited. And again, mysteries to be solved.
Yes.
So until next...
I was going to say, and we will be doing that here on Trekyards. So tune in next time.
Yes. In our Discovery Week of non-stop Discovery. There's been a lot of videos already, guys, so tune in for all of them, because so many thoughts and so many things on this new verse, this new era, this new timeline.
Perhaps we think of one or two things that you guys haven't thought of, but spark some creativity and imagination in you guys to get you guys thinking. So put it in the comments below.
Yes.
So until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I am Connor Kungs.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.